Guess who I bumped into? The one and only Crystal. How you doing?
I'm very good. Very good. How are you?
Yeah,
it was
good.
lovely to hear your voice from across the room.
You know that it was me straight away?
I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I've got that unique voice.
Exactly.
Okay, you are an Amazon expert. You specialize in the Middle East and it's 2025. What do you say to those people who say Amazon is dead, Amazon is saturated, all that kind of vibe? Tell us what you think.
I think ever since I started supporting sellers on Amazon back in 2017, I've heard that Amazon is saturated. And I think lots of people think that way. I'm sure you teach a lot of people the ways of how they need to find a product. Yeah, the market in general is very saturated. I think information is very saturated nowadays because you're just able to get information, knowledge, everything so much faster.
It's free.
And it's free. I think that's why you feel it's saturated, but it's not. It's just the fact that you need to be a little bit smarter in the ways that you do things. I think those videos that a lot of sellers tend to see where you buy a product from Alibaba for $1 and sell it for 50.
Those TikTok videos where watch me launch an Amazon business in 60 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think they exist anymore, and I'm sure you would agree. I think it's just about the fact that Amazon is a business model. There's nothing different to it than opening a store in Dubai Mall, as an example. It's just about understanding what to sell. So, no, to answer your question directly, I don't think it's saturated, but I don't think it's as easy as it used to be.
Yeah, of course, and that is a challenge, but also an opportunity. If you're willing to innovate and get better and develop your skill set, that's an opportunity because most people are lazy and don't want to actually level up their skill set and they want to rely on what maybe used to work in the past. So I think it's a great opportunity, but yes, it's a challenge at the same time. One thing my students struggle with the most is finding that perfect product. And I always tell them there's no such thing. Tell me what you think about finding a product.
I think there's no perfect relationship, so there's no perfect product, unfortunately. And you're right, a lot of people tend to want to look for a perfect product. I'm not sure it exists, but I think it's better to fail fast than to just spend, especially in the landscape that we live in now, things are so fast. So I think you need to launch something to figure out if there's a market fit for it. And there's a balance between just launching it just to launch it and just not spending too much time. So not too much time trying to perfect it.
Okay, so would you launch a generic product then because that allows you to launch more quickly, or would you at least do some kind of differentiation and branding before you actually test the product?
Very good question. Let me give you a two-part answer. First of all, related to where I'm launching it. You obviously talk a lot about Amazon.com. I focus on Amazon in the Middle East, UAE, and Saudi. Yes, it is still possible to sell a generic product in the UAE and Saudi because it's such a new market for Amazon. You can get away with it. In the US, you certainly can't do that. Second part is I'm also don't think you should do that because I see a lot of people say, let me just launch it and see if it works. Then I'll make sure that, yeah, Amazon is a good business model. We both know it's not going to give you the results that you want. So if you're launching a generic product expecting to buy a Lamborghini the next day, it's not going to happen. But if you're launching it with the right expectations, or if you're launching it thinking, I just need a product so that I can learn, I don't want to learn just through watching videos or taking a course, then it could be something that you could do. But you just need to make sure that you don't get disappointed with the results that you're going to get.
You mentioned a very interesting point because I work with hundreds of students, and the students who tend to do the best are the ones who don't have to make it work, who can roll the dice and they don't have to get a 6, who aren't relying on Amazon to pay their rent in 3 months' time. They are the ones who actually end up making more money than the ones who need the money. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I actually saw this big problem, big time, during the pandemic when a lot of people were unfortunately getting laid off their jobs and they were just really in a panic trying to find something to replace their everyday income.
Yeah.
And then they would just cut corners because they just wanted something on Amazon and it would never, because they were just so forcing it, that type of energy, it would never work. You want to be in a mindset of you're attracting success, being calm, cool, collected as much as possible, rather than just forcing it, because if you force it, just like anything in life, if you force it, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, in relationships, in money, in business, I guess if you're desperate, then you will proactively push away what you're trying to seek. And it's funny. Yeah, it's funny. All right, one last question for you. For those people out there who are thinking about, should I start, should I not, do I need to do it? Obviously, I don't think everyone should do it because not everyone has the mindset or the capabilities of actually going through all the ups and downs. But what would you say to those people who are on the fence, who are thinking about Amazon, but they're also quite afraid about the unknown? What would you say to them?
I totally agree with you. I don't think entrepreneurship in general is for everyone. I meet a lot of people that say, I don't want to have a 9-to-5 job. I want my, you know where I'm going with this? I want my own business so that I can wake up at any time and go anywhere I want. But that does happen, of course, but it does happen very much further down the line. In the beginning, that freedom does not exist. I'm sorry.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. It's the opposite. So if that's why you want to sell on Amazon, that's probably not the right reason. And there's so many different businesses nowadays that you can have. So I would say Amazon is not magic. It's just a platform. So the same rules and regulations apply to when you want to launch a business. But some people seem to think that they don't apply because Amazon is a marketplace and it's a digital business. It's exactly the same.
Business is business.
So if you are willing to sacrifice, yes, of course, there's risks and rewards to everything that you do in life. For me personally, I think it's a great business model for a lot of people, but you need to be ready for those risks as well. If they're on the fence, just do a little bit more research and try to figure out if the business maybe works according to your talents or maybe your personality as well, because it does require someone that's a little bit stubborn and someone that's, I would say, like willing to take a risk.
Yeah, and just on the point of risk, yes, it follows all of the typical risks of business where you're not going to be immediately profitable and you are going to have to face all the ups and downs of your typical business cycle. However, I think the great thing is that the risk is massively minimized as compared to other business models. Yeah. If you were opening a brick and mortar store, that risk where you're hiring employees and renting out, getting a 1 year's lease on premises, that's massive risk. But with Amazon, the risk, yes, it's still there, but it's asymmetric, where the risk and the reward, there's a massive upside to what is, I think, proportionally downside risk.
I totally agree. One thing also, because I met your lovely wife, I think also maybe one idea would be to do this business with a partner, not necessarily a life partner, maybe not a good idea to do it with a life partner, but a partner to complement parts of the things that you're not good at. Could also be something where you would be able to lower your risks even further and double the output. Maybe that could also be something that someone can do.
Yeah, I think a partner is a double-edged sword. Yeah. If you can find the right partner that can help your business in ways you never could have imagined otherwise. However, if you have a good friend and you try to, hey, I like this guy or this person, let's partner and do this business, that might not end well. And I think friendship should come from business, not business come from friendship. Yeah, what? Who's your partner in Amazon Seller Society?
Myself. No, my team, of course.
No, but you the sole shareholder.
Yeah.
Amazing. And how many people in your team?
We're 25 people.
And they're all based in the UAE?
No, we have an office in the UAE, an office in Turkey, and an office in Estonia also.
Have you thought about, sorry, I said that was the last question, but I'm thinking about the Canton Fair coming up. Have you thought about, do you guys go to Guangzhou, China at all as a company for your brands or what have you?
We don't, but we partner with a lot of great people that do China Magic and all of those great events as well. So we tend to go that way, or we ask our sellers, we introduce them to that. No.
All right. Crystal, thank you so much. And again, I met her in Dubai. Now we're in Doha, so a massive coincidence, and I'm glad that I bumped into you.
Me too.
All right, thank you, Crystal.